Hi guys, this is Black Music Canada. I'm your host Brianna, and today we're interviewing.
Kalisway.
Yay! Hey, Kalisway, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, born and raised from Toronto, Ontario, my whole life. Never moved from my city, so that's my home. I really started to produce a little bit more since I've been younger. Started from like 13 years old.
Really?
And then from on there, I wanted to elevate my songwriting and also my singing capabilities, but I was shy at the time. So I really just delved into producing, fell in love with my inspirations of like Pharrell, Timbaland, Tyler the Creator.
Okay.
And then once I got more comfortable, I applied to the Remix Project around like 2018, 19 once
The
I
Remix
graduated.
Project? What is
Yeah,
that?
it's a nonprofit organization that just helps a lot of creatives, even people who want to do business, photography, anything like that. Yeah, so it's not even just like music. But I applied to that and I got in, and that just gave me my confidence. I met so many different creatives. Rich kid, which I always say this story. I was literally producing and he heard one of my songs and he's like, "Is that you on it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You wrote that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You produced that?"
How old
are
you?
Yeah, I was 19. So he was like, "Why didn't you like apply for the artist program?" Because I applied for audio engineering. Yeah. That's what I did at the time too.
And that's what you were used to.
Yeah, and I just wanted to be behind scenes. So I didn't really like want to be seen.
That's how the great artists start, guys. just be behind the scenes, it's fine.
But fast forward, he was like, "You can't hide this." So I kept going and finding my sound, really got more confident. And then near the end of the program, there's a last panel where it was a business panel with like 3 amazing managers. One of them I resonated with the most was Ty. His name was like Worldwide Ty. And I asked somebody that knew Ty, I was like, "Hey, like, how do I just meet genuine people that just grow and just want to grow together and just, become one as a team?" And that person was Alasia. Led me to Ty, said, "Hey, the best person to talk to is Ty." Led me to Ty, told him the same thing, and he was like, "Here's my number." And it just went from there. He figured out I was a producer because he didn't even know at the time.
Yeah.
And I told him, and once he heard my song, which was Cherry, my very first song I ever put out, I had nothing on that, just drums in my voice. He didn't answer for 4 hours, so I was like, "Okay, this thing is cracked."
Oh my gosh.
Like, it's done for it. Like, yeah, that was it. That was my chance. But he reached out and he's like, "Yo, you want to go to LA? You want to work?" Like, that was my first time going to the States. So it all started from there, and we just took it naturally. And now we've been a team for literally going to be 5 years. So
oh my gosh,
it's been amazing.
That does sound amazing, and it also sounds like you answered literally all of my questions that I had for you today.
Hey, I'm a storyteller.
But I do want to go back to when you were like a producer. Is that what you were also doing on, I believe, Rip's album Snub Nose? Were you also producing on that, or were you just background vocals on that one song?
No, so that was a relationship that I required, like I got from Ty. And so Rip was on our team at the time, and Rip was like, "Yo, your vocals are crazy. You think you could say some background vocals?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So while I was in Remix, I recorded that. And so I just did some background vocals for him, and I was just on his project. So for me, it was like the confidence start of like, "Oh, okay, I got this." Like, people are reaching out to me, and want me to be a part of their stuff. Like, I got to show them what I'm about to.
And that's what happened between those months, that and then releasing Cherry.
Yeah.
Just building up that confidence, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
Second question. Your music embodies funk, but I do find traces of like R&B, soul, a little bit of rap. How do you manage to balance out all of those elements on each song? And do you like pick an element for each song and then the rest in the background? Like, how do you do that?
So since I ever started to really immerse myself in music, I've always been in love with different sounds of music. I never even say genres. Like, I feel like genres is just a box. Like, I feel like I just different sounds. So like, I've been listening to Erykah Badu, and then I listen to the Gorillaz, I listen to Pharrell, I listen to Missy Elliott. So I just have different sounds that I've loved since I was younger, and I've always wanted to tie them in to make them my own. And I feel like that's what inspires me and allows me to go into different spaces. So I never really have like this song gonna be a rap song, this song gonna be like a R&B song. It's just whatever I feel. So like for Vanilla Dip, like the beat just came to me, and then I was like, "Oh, this beat is like more a singer vibe, so I'm gonna sing, I'm gonna be more soulful." When I made Can't Tell Me Nothing, that beat was super hard, so I was like, I gotta rap on this. Like,
do you like start with the beats? Because I remember you talked about during COVID you lost your voice, and
you
had to start like restructuring your songs around like beats and sounds.
Yeah.
Do you still do that?
Yeah, so I still do that. So ever since then, I feel like that's allowed me to produce my music in a different way. Because I think before it used to start by melodies, and now it starts by the drums. So I'll just do the drums.
Okay.
Yeah, the drums will do like, I'll start the drums and then I'll sing on top of it after. Most of the time that's how it goes. Sometimes it comes by the whole beat just comes to me and then I'll sing afterwards.
So the lyrics are always last.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just like to freestyle and try to sing in the moment. So whatever feeling that I capture in that very moment just stays there, and I can write the feelings and the proper lyrics that I want later on. So it just stays natural and raw. Yeah.
Okay, to use like authentic.
Yeah, exactly.
And how long did it take to get this? Because like you said, you started out pretty shy.
I think after I really started to figure out I can do this, took me about like a year or two. Like a year or two to really feel like, man, like, okay, I need to stop down. Like, I could do this. Like, it feels natural. Like, every time I created, it just came to me. And especially, like, when I'm putting out music and people keep digesting it and saying good feedback, it's like, okay, well, I'm on the right page. Like, why am I doubting myself? Like, we just need to keep going.
Yeah. In an interview in 2019 with The Fader, you mentioned that people were saying that your sound was in the States. Do you still believe that to this day?
I mean, I think people would refer to my sound as being more for the States because more G-funk and funk is usually in that space, and I could understand that, but I think my sound can be from my city because we've never heard it before.
Yeah.
So I think...
And you're from the city.
Exactly. I'm trying to make sure I represent my city and make sure that we don't hold ourselves to only one thing. There's so many talented people in here.
Absolutely.
So many talented people that no one knows about, and there's so many sounds out here other than just like R&B. So I think for me, it's not really a States vibe. It's just my sound.
Yeah. Why do you think they keep saying that? Like any
I have no idea.
I
have no idea. You know, people like to stay in boxes, and we like to break out of them. You know, and that's just how it is. And I feel like that's okay to have that type of idea of music, and to think that a certain sound fits a different place. But I think I can recognize the LA and say, hey, you know, you do represent that sound, and that's a beauty. And I literally give my hopes, and I give my love, and I give every type of support to LA for that, because they have honed in on that sound, and I've took pieces of it and made it my own, and now I'm bringing it to my city to show them there's different ways that we can embody this.
So I want to ask, do you think Canadian artists need an American audience to prevail in their career, to find success in their career?
I think that wherever you're from, you need that city first to love you before you can really truly blow. I've been talking about this so much often, and it's like, if you look at somebody or look at a group like Outkast, they're known so big because of their city. Atlanta loves them.
Yeah.
If your city don't love you, I just feel like you can't be immersed in love properly enough to truly blow. So my focus is to make sure that my city loves me, and that everywhere else that loves me afterwards is just even more love.
Amazing. That's really well.
Yeah.
Put your city first.
100%.
Yeah. Behind.
Never. You can't. That's where I came from. Like, born and raised, I never look to never represent my city. That's always the goal. So whenever I can shout them out, whenever I can show love, that's literally why this album is called A Kid from Toronto. To let them know that I'm from here, this is my home, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah. So we did want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Of course, your upcoming album, Kid from Toronto.
Yeah.
How is that album different from the first one that you released?
My first album, it's so special to look back on, because I feel like that album was me really actually honing in on funk. And I actually had a whole and I had a whole other track list for that album. I had a whole other album. Yeah, I made a whole other album. It's just in the the drafts. It's in the drafts.
Are we ever gonna see those drafts?
It wasn't funk enough, so no.
You've only collaborated with DJ Candlestick, as far as I know. On this album, are there going to be any other collaborations, or is it like an intentional creative decision to not have any collaborations or features or anything in your songs?
So for this album, I've been collaborating with a lot of people actually, and it's musicians, and to be specific. So musicians, I feel like I was in the beginning of my phase, I really wanted to prove people that I was a producer, because in the beginning phase, like, no one actually knew I was. So they would always go to my music and be like, who made this beat? And I'd be like, me. And they're like, what? And I'd be like, yeah.
the Spotify
Exactly.
tags.
I'm like, yo, no one's checking my discography. This is crazy. Like, literally,
It's
this is
me.
Kalisway.
That's my name.
But I wanted to stem away from that for this project because I want to also let people know that I have a community and I have people that are also
Like
talented that can evolve my music. And I did this for this project, and I feel like it created even more specialness and like magic in this album. And I can't wait for y'all to hear it because I have basses, saxophones, like all that. You know what I mean, and keys, violin.
Oh, whoa,
yeah. So I can't wait for y'all to hear it.
You like any artists that you
No. You gotta like.
No, that's fine.
But everything's always in works, you know.
You just had your 3rd Billboard with Amazon Music.
Amazing.
I need to know, how does it feel to see you up there, like your giant face, like up there in the middle of like the city? Like,
yeah.
How does that feel?
I think it feels beautiful. It's something that I don't take for granted. These things are not just given to everyone. These things are not granted at all. And I'm so grateful for it because not only, it's 3 times that I've gotten this, but it's 3 times that I've been represented in my city and 3 times that they've acknowledged that I'm an artist that they love and support.
Specifically a funk artist.
Exactly. And
in Toronto.
It's a big thing.
That you shouldn't be a funk artist in Toronto.
Yeah, exactly.
But there you are.
Exactly. So it's a big thing. And for me, I take that as an honor. I take that as something that I'm proud of. And I want to keep striving for more. So, you know, even though for me, it's like, man, this is a milestone for me, I'm going to keep achieving more. And I know that there's more to come, and I'm just so grateful for it, truly.
And how do you deal with people saying that your sound isn't for Toronto, or just critiquing your sound in general?
I mean, you know what's been happening? I mean, from the beginning, people were saying that. I feel like now I'm proving them wrong, so I don't really feel like there's too much of that going on
You
anymore.
feel like you don't even need to say anything.
Yeah,
the music speaks for itself.
I mean, that's the job. You always let the music speak for itself. I feel like I don't really do a lot of talking when it comes to having a debate with people about, you know, like my opinions. I feel like I just prove that I've been working. I prove that it's gonna make a move, and I prove that with the accolades and the goals that I'm achieving and the things that's going on. So I'm very grateful, and anyone that wants to be a part of this journey, I'm thankful, and I take them along my ride.
Of course.
Take them in the suitcase. We go on a plane together.
Okay, and one more question. Do you have any advice for other up-and-coming artists in Toronto, especially ones who, I guess, aren't doing the typical Toronto sounds like R&B and rap?
I would say just keep growing, keep trying out new sounds. Sometimes you feel like that's your one sound, and then you just try something with a different producer, or maybe you just hear a song and you're like, man, I don't even do country, but for some reason, like, this is resonating with me. Let me just try it one time. And that could be something that turns that thing that you thought was your sound into something even more. And
does that happen with you?
With me, I feel like I've always done that because I've listened to so many things.
Yeah.
So I've never closed myself off to say, like, I'm R&B, like, I'm just this. Like, I've always been like, I'm just creative, and I do funk and R&B, and I have soul in my heart. So that's all that combined, and I'm not in a box. And I think that once you let your mind know that you're not boxed in, but you know what sound you provide, you can elevate in any way that you want to. So I would say for anybody that's looking at that right now, or feeling like they're kind of stuck, try anything. Just look in different avenues and work with different people. Inspirations will come.
Yeah, we have your community, guys.
Yeah,
Toronto
absolutely.
needs it.
Community is so important.
Okay, well, Kalisway, thank you so much for this interview, guys. We're very excited to be here. I say we
No, thank you for having me. I'm just grateful to be here and be a part of this. Like, it means a lot to me. So thank you just for having the time to do this.
And of course, listen to Kalisway's upcoming album, A Kid from Toronto. When does that come out?
August 16th. Yeah, we got a date, y'all.
Guys,
we got a date.
Get your playlist ready. Like, clear it.
Yeah.
Delete the old songs.
Okay.
Come on, make room.
Delete the old songs. Crazy.
Come on.
Oh my God.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
All right, bye.